and welcome back to another episode of the Learn and Level Up English podcast. Have you ever tried to speak English in a conversation only to feel like you're being misunderstood? Or maybe you've experienced that awkward moment when someone asks you to repeat yourself and you realize your pronunciation is holding you back. I've been there. I remember a time when I was chatting with a native speaker and I kept saying the word beach, but they kept looking confused. It wasn't until I realized I was pronouncing it a bit too close to another word, bitch, that I understood the problem. It's funny now, but in that moment I felt frustrated. But that's why pronunciation is so important. It's not just about sounding correct, it's about making sure your message is clear. Did you know that research shows pronunciation is one of the top concerns for language learners? In fact, a study by the British Council revealed that nearly 70% of learners feel unsure about their pronunciation skills, even if they have a solid vocabulary and grammar. That's crazy, right? But don't worry. Today, I've got 5 simple tricks that will not only help you speak more clearly, but will give you the confidence to jump into conversations with ease. These tips will have you sounding more natural and be understood every time. So, let's dive right in. Alright, let's jump into our first trick. Break words into syllables. This is a game changer when it comes to pronunciation. Breaking a word into smaller parts helps you tackle tricky words without feeling overwhelmed. Plus, it gives you a better sense of how the word should flow when you say it aloud. Now, you might be thinking, how do I even break a word into syllables? Don't worry, I'm here to help. Here's a simple rule. When you say a word, count how many times your mouth naturally opens. Each time it opens, that's a syllable. Let's try a couple of words together. Let's start with a common one, information. If we break it down, it becomes information. 4 syllables, right? You can feel the natural pause between each part. Now, let's do another one together. Photograph. Break it down, photograph. 3 syllables. Got it? Okay, let's make this a little more interactive. I'm going to give you 3 more words, and I want you to break them into syllables out loud. Ready? Here we go. Beautiful. Computer. Development. Go ahead, say them out loud, and try to break them down into syllables. I'll give you a moment. All right, time's up. Let's check the answers. Beautiful. Beautiful. 3 syllables. Computer. Computer. 3 syllables. Development. Development. 4 syllables. How'd you do? I bet those words sound a lot easier now, right? Breaking words down is a super effective way to master those intimidating words that usually trip you up. Now let's move on to our second trick, mastering stress and intonation. This one is huge when it comes to sounding natural in English. Why? Well, English isn't just about pronouncing words correctly. It's also about how we say them. The stress we place on certain syllables and the rise and fall of our voice can completely change the meaning of what we're saying. Let me give you a quick example. Imagine you say the word record. If you stress the first syllable, it's a noun, like a vinyl record. But if you stress the second syllable, it's a verb. I need to record the video. See how the meaning changes just by shifting the stress? This is exactly why stress is so important. But there's more. Intonation, the rise and fall of your voice, is also crucial. Intonation helps us convey emotions and intentions. For example, listen to how my voice changes when I say these sentences. Statement, it's a sunny day. The intonation stays flat or goes slightly down at the end. Question, is it a sunny day? Notice how my intonation rises at the end as if I'm asking a question. Exclamation, what a sunny day. Here, my intonation rises sharply, showing excitement or surprise. As you can hear, stress and intonation help shape how we communicate. In fact, changing the intonation can even change how someone interprets what you're saying. Let's try this with a few more examples. Here's a question. You're coming to the party, right? If I say it with a rising intonation at the end, it's a question. But if I say it with a flat or falling intonation, it sounds like I'm just confirming something I already know. Let me show you the difference. Rising intonation. Question. You're coming to the party, right? My voice rises at the end, signaling it's a question. Flat, falling intonation. Confirmation. You're coming to the party, right? My voice stays flat or slightly falls, signaling I'm confirming information. See how the change in intonation gives the sentence a whole different feel? You can play with this in your own conversations to sound more natural and confident. And here's a little challenge for you. Try saying this sentence with 3 different emotions: excitement, surprise, and boredom. I can't believe it's already Friday! First, say it with excitement, using a rising intonation at the end, like you're super happy it's Friday. Second, say it with surprise. Your voice should rise sharply, like you're shocked the week went by so fast. And third, say it with boredom. Use a flat intonation to show you're uninterested. All right, now that we've practiced stress and intonation, don't be afraid to experiment with these techniques in your daily conversations. It'll make your speech more dynamic and easier to understand. Now, let's move on to trick number 3, using minimal pairs. This is one of the best exercises to fine-tune your pronunciation and train your ears to hear small but important differences in English sounds. So, what are minimal pairs? They're words that sound almost the same but have just one sound that makes them different. Think of words like ship and sheep, or bit and beat. If you don't pronounce them correctly, you might say the wrong word and totally change the meaning of your sentence. Let's test your listening skills with a quick quiz. I'm going to say a word, and I want you to guess which one I said. Ready? Listen carefully. Round 1. Did I say cat or cut? Round 2. Did I say sit or seat? Round 3. Did I say pen or pan? All right, let's check your answers. I said cut, seat, and pen. How many did you get right? If you got them all, great job. If not, don't worry. You can always replay this part and practice listening more carefully. Now it's your turn. I want you to write down at least 3 minimal pairs and practice saying them out loud. Even better, record yourself saying them and share your pronunciation journey on social media. Tag us with Learn English Podcast and let's see how many minimal pairs we can come up with together. Remember, small pronunciation tweaks can make a big difference in how clear and confident you sound in English. Keep practicing, and let's move on to the next trick. All right, it's time for trick number 4, practicing tongue twisters. These are fun, but they're also one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation, clarity, and speaking speed. Tongue twisters force your mouth muscles to work harder, helping you pronounce tricky sounds correctly and smoothly. Ever struggled with the th sound in words like think or this? Or maybe you mix up R and L like some English learners do? No worries. Tongue twisters are here to help. Let's start with an easy one. Repeat after me. She sells seashells by the seashore. This one helps with the S and esh sounds, which are often tricky for learners. Now, let's make it a bit harder. Try this. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. This is great for practicing the R and L sounds, which can be difficult, especially for speakers of certain languages. Ready for the ultimate challenge? Let's speed things up. Now say this as fast as you can. The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. Wow, that was tough. But practicing this will help you master the th sound, one of the hardest for English learners. Now, here's your challenge. Record yourself saying one of these tongue twisters as fast and clearly as you can. Post it on social media and tag us with number Learn English Podcast dash. Let's see who can do it the fastest. Keep practicing, and soon your pronunciation will sound smoother and more natural. Now, let's move on to our final trick. And now, let's talk about one of the most powerful pronunciation tricks. Listen and imitate. This is how babies learn to speak. They listen to people around them and copy what they hear. And guess what? You can do the same to sound more natural in English. Why does this work? When you imitate native speakers, you're not just copying words, you're learning their rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. It's like music. Every language has its own melody, and English is no different. Fun exercise. Number 1, movie and TV show challenge. Have you ever wanted to sound like your favorite movie character? Let's try it. I'll say a famous line, and I want you to repeat it after me. Try to match my tone, speed, and pronunciation. First, a classic line from Harry Potter. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa, Hermione's voice imitation. Now, something fun from Friends. How you doing? Joey's voice imitation. Pause for listeners to repeat. That was great. The more you practice, the better you'll sound. Fun exercise number 2, the speech challenge. Now, let's take it up a notch. One of the best ways to improve your pronunciation is by imitating inspirational speeches. Let's try a short line from Steve Jobs' famous speech. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Notice how the rhythm and emphasis make the words more powerful? Try listening to famous speeches, TED Talks, or motivational speakers and repeat their words out loud. Best resources to improve: listening and imitation. To practice daily, follow these great resources. BBC Learning English, great for listening exercises. TED Talks, perfect for mimicking real-life speech patterns. Podcasts like the American English Podcast, Natural Conversations to Copy, Your Challenge. Find a movie scene, TV show, or speech you love. Record yourself imitating it and tag us with number Learn English Podcast. Let's see who can sound the most natural. With regular practice, you'll sound more confident and fluent in no time. Now, let's wrap up everything we've learned today. Wow, you've just learned 5 powerful tricks to improve your English pronunciation. Let's quickly recap what we covered today. Break words into syllables. Slow down. Pronounce each part and make long words easier. Master stress and intonation. English has its own rhythm, so practice emphasizing the right words. Use minimal pairs. Train your ears to hear small differences between similar words. Practice tongue twisters. Challenge yourself with fun phrases to sharpen your pronunciation. Listen and imitate. Copy native speakers from movies, speeches, and podcasts to sound natural. Your next steps. Remember, pronunciation is not about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking clearly and confidently so people understand you. And the best way to improve? Practice every day. Your pronunciation challenge. I have a fun challenge for you. Pick one trick from today's episode and practice it for a week. Record yourself and track your progress. If you're feeling bold, share it with us using number Learn English Podcast. I'd love to hear your improvement. More ways to improve. Listen to English daily. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, or even sing along to songs. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing in real time. Get a speaking partner. Join language exchange groups or practice with a friend. Final words. Fluent pronunciation is a journey, not a destination. Keep going, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the process. You're getting better every single day. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next episode.